Hi everybody, it's Monica with American English with Monica. I'm so glad you're here. I just finished teaching a student and we had a discussion about a certain phrasal verb that gets confusing, and I thought I'm going to make a quick YouTube video. Listen, I'm going to go over phrasal verbs a lot. They need to be reviewed. And just a reminder, I speak American English, so some of these phrasal verbs might have other meanings in other countries. That's fine. In fact, the three phrasal verbs I want to discuss today all have more than one meaning, but I'm only going to talk about one scenario for my business students. Okay? Let's look at these three phrasal verbs. I just wrote them down for you. Do you know what the difference is? So my student who I just met with, he's a manager. He has a team of employees at his job. And he told me that two people on his team called off sick today. Okay, this is January 2023, after the holidays, and he's returning to work, and two people on his team, he said, called off. It's very hard for me to say that because it's wrong. We don't call off sick. Okay? So call off, one of the meanings, just one of them, is when something is canceled. Class was called off. The meeting needs to be called off. She called it off. You can separate this phrasal verb. Okay? The wedding was called off. It means canceled. It's not happening. That's the meaning. To cancel, to call off. It's a phrasal verb. It's really important that you know. It's really important. If your boss says the interview or the meeting or the client dinner has been called off, you need to know that means canceled. It's not happening. All right? Really important. But it's not the correct phrasal verb that we use when someone calls out sick or calls in sick. Which one? They're both right. They're both right. This is really confusing because normally out and in are opposites. They have opposite meanings. In other phrasal verbs or without a verb, in and out mean separate things usually. But the expression in American English, if you call or text or email your boss and you tell them you're sick, you will not be at work today, you can say that you called out or that you called in. They are the same. I promise you. My student didn't believe me. So he had two employees call out today. He had two employees call in today. They missed work because they were sick. Now, please understand, you cannot use these phrasal verbs to miss work if it's something that is scheduled in the future, right? If there's a meeting next month and you can't be there because of a holiday or a different reason, a month in advance, you can't say, I need to call out from that meeting next month. That doesn't make sense. That's a planned schedule conflict. I won't be at the meeting next month. I have a conflict. But if it's the day that you're supposed to be at work and you're sick, or you're not sick and you just don't want to be at work, sometimes people call out or sometimes they call in. Now, you can have the word sick after each of these phrasal verbs. That's normal. Call out sick or call in sick. We cannot separate them. You can't say he called it out sick. You can't do that. He called out sick. Okay? The preposition we would use in a sentence is different for each one. She called out from work or she called in to work. They mean that she did not go to work. They both mean she was sick. I know this is confusing, especially the second one, but I teach business English, and a lot of my students are not from America. They're working with native speakers now, and if someone says she called in to work, that means she's not coming. Okay? We say call because of the phone, but it can also mean they emailed or texted, and they both mean they're missing work. I hope this makes sense. I know it's a little confusing, but we don't call off sick. We call off a meeting, we call off a party, we call off some plans when we need to cancel them. That's different. If you need to miss work, you're not feeling well, or you just don't want to be at work today and you need to contact your boss, you need to communicate with your job, you're either calling out or calling in, but they mean the same thing. Okay? I hope that was helpful. I will do some phrasal verbs every week. Many of you have asked me for more YouTube videos, and I appreciate you asking. I really do. I've been so busy teaching my students, but I'm going to make time every week to make a video about phrasal verbs. They're so important. And whether you're preparing for a Cambridge exam, or you need to improve your English to help with your job, or you just want to practice, your confidence in English, getting it improved, you need to know phrasal verbs. They're really important. And like I said, there are other meanings for these expressions, but I will review some every week with you. Okay? So I'm glad you're here. I'll see you next time. Bye.